primarily use this just to get my title blocks with sheet names and numbers put in, where I'm not spending the time just making each one individually. What questions do you have? I mean, that's a really quick overview.
So some parameters you can't edit directly in the schedule, even if you wanted to. They're kind of locked to. Would this allow you to override locked cells?
Typically, if the cell is a calculated value, then no, we're not going to be able to override it. Is that what you're like? The locked cell thing is calculated? No.
Or it has a defined model number or something that it won't let you change. So it's not a calculation as much as it's just something that's locked.
That it might override, yes. You might be able to do it with that. I think it just depends on why it's locked.
So this is Catherine. To follow up on Andy's question, if you have a parameter, for example, like a CFM that was tied to a flow rate instead of a text type parameter, can you override a shared parameter to make it text? Or does the shared parameter have to have the text instead of a, quantity or something?
So you're asking about the formatting of the shared parameter, whether it's text or whether it's a CFM value?
Yes.
And can this be overridden?
Yeah.
Once a parameter is set, it can't be changed. I can't, whenever I do this, I can't change the backbone of the parameter. But you could quickly create, add a parameter that is text and transfer all the information over.
Okay.
Yeah, Revit's really particular about this, what it's classified as parameter-wise. Okay. What other questions? I mean, Mike just kind of emailed me out of the blue, so I guess at the beginning, I'm not quite sure exactly what y'all are looking for, or if this was just here's the program and this is what it can do.
Well, one of the things I'm going to be interested in later, it's probably not related to what Mike was wanting us to review, but on some other projects in the piping section, I'm going to want to be able to add parameters to families so that we can start extracting line lists, valve lists, tie lists, different, starting to use the piping portion of the Revit for data analysis and such. And currently we don't have a lot of content that will support the systems maintaining connectivity. A lot of the Revit families we use don't work properly if you maintain connectivity, and then you have to just visually put it in the same place without letting it make it an intelligent link. And here in the near future, there's going to be an interest in being able to see what Revit can do as far as if we do maintain connectivity with families that are done properly. And then we need to add the parameters to the families so that we can extract the information. If anybody has made any progress in that direction.
So the concern is that when you connect the pipe to a fitting or to another pipe, that it's not passing the information correctly?
Well, like on one of the Vandalay projects, the families that they gave us to use, if you put in a butterfly valve and connect a flange on both sides of the valve, which you have to have because the butterfly valve has bolts that go through from flange to flange, and then the pipe connects to the flange and it goes out from there. Well, when you connect the flange to the valve, everything's fine, but when you connect the pipe to the flange, then the flange disappears and the pipe connects to the valve. So the workaround on that was to, instead of connecting the pipe to the flange intelligently, just extend it to the graphic location so that it doesn't maintain an intelligent
know. I could ask around and see if we've made any progress on that. But I don't know off the top of my head if anybody's approved that.
Well, I'm more questioning if anybody has started working on things like valve lists and being able to add line numbers to lines and via that type of data so that we can extract out of Revit.
No, we kind of need someone to provide us that feedback of what you need to see, and we can start working on that.
Do we have anybody that is available at a BIM level to develop the content and implement it?
Is this for DFW or for Mandalay? Or both?
Well, it's going to be primarily for Mandalay up front, but then eventually we'd like to be able to use that for all projects. Because what we're hoping to do is, aside from getting all this information automatically scheduled, is to be able to export the routing and process data to stress analysis programs and flow analysis programs and such, so that we get pressure drop calculations and things out of Revit, rather than having to use about 6 or 7 different softwares to do the work and model the same entities 3 or 4 times.
Right. Part of that you could send to me, because I'm kind of supporting the DFW project in the BIM regard, and we probably will have some use for it if we can actually get it done.
Okay.
And then we can transfer it over to other projects from a BIM level at a higher. That I don't know. I don't know staffing wise, but I do have some time where I could try to start working on some of that. But I just need to kind of know what you're trying to do and what data we need.
Okay, let me, in my spare time, which I really don't have, let me put together a scope of what we need, because until it's written down, nobody knows it's even needed.
Right.
But Stephen Vandekeep had come to me with this request a few times, and initially I'd had the same considerations about 3 or 4 years ago, and I just never had time to pursue it. But we're getting to a point now where it's just taking too much time to do the work several times in several different programs. And if we can get the information to go straight from like Revit to Caesar to do our stress analysis, rather than having to export it to AutoCAD, trace it in CADWorks, and then export from CADWorks to Caesar, you have 3 or 4 different conversion processes involved. And something that could take an hour is taking 3 days.
Right. Okay.
So I'll get something put together, and maybe we can process it through management and get approvals to do this, because it would save everybody a lot of time.
Okay. That sounds good. Okay. Other questions about Rushforce, what it can do, schedule-wise, problems that we're having on DFW that we need to focus on?
Stephanie, this is Catherine Flurry. I've never even heard of this before, so if you could just go back over it quickly again and kind of maybe re-show how to add in a schedule, because the first time I was kind of just like, what is going on? And learning which the buttons were, so maybe the second time I might get a better pass at it, unless everybody else has already been using this.
Okay. So kind of the 2 things that we're using Rushforce for predominantly. One, sheet indexing. So how we did the sheet indexing, we went to the parameter transformer, and then Revit's got some presets in there. And you can use this for views as well, but we're going to use it for sheets. And we're going to come to the Excel file or Excel tab, select Revit schedule. We see our sheets index right here, and then we're going to export that and save. So right now it's taking all of our data out.